All right, let's get right into it. Google just dropped something that, look, it's not just another update. This is a complete, fundamental shift in how we build software. We are talking about Gemini 3.0, and if you're a developer, you need to be paying very close attention.
And hey, that's not me saying that. That's how the experts are framing this. This isn't about a slightly smarter autocomplete. No. This is about basically tearing down the old way of doing things and building an entirely new foundation from the ground up.
And that really is the core idea we're going to unpack here. We are moving away from thinking of AI as just a simple assistant, and we're moving towards something much, much more profound, a true collaborator.
So the phrase you're going to hear a lot is the agentic inflection point. This is a huge concept. It pretty much marks the end of an era where we just ask an AI to, complete a simple function for us. We are now stepping into a brand new phase where the AI becomes an active partner in the entire engineering lifecycle.
So what does agentic AI actually mean? Well, it means the AI doesn't just write code when you tell it to. It can plan out a complex, multi-file refactor, actually execute all the necessary changes, and then, and this is the key part, it can verify that its own work didn't break anything. It's not just a tool anymore, it's a participant. So what in the world is driving this massive shift toward agentic AI? Well, all this power, it's coming from an entirely new engine. At the heart of it all is the brand new Gemini 3 model.
Just look at this number, 1 million. That is the new token context window for Gemini 3. Now, for anyone out there who has ever fought with a model that just loses context halfway through a complex task, you know this number is an absolute, total game changer.
So what does this actually mean for you, the developer, day to day? Imagine pointing the AI at your entire company's codebase and just asking it to find the performance bottleneck. With this kind of context, it can see everything, the front end, the back end, the docs, and it understands how it all connects. This also means you can say goodbye to those clunky workarounds like RAG, retrieval augmented generation, where you have to manually feed documents to the AI. That's just gone.
But it's not just one model. Google is actually rolling out 2 different tiers. First, you've got Gemini 3 Pro. Think of this as your incredibly powerful day-to-day workhorse. But then you have Gemini 3 Deep Think. This is the specialist. This is the one you bring in for the really hard problems.
Deep Think is engineered for what experts call System 2 thinking. It actually deliberates and plans before it gives you an answer. It's like having a senior architect on call ready to critique your entire system. It even gives you these thought signatures, which are basically a step-by-step trace of its logic, so you can see exactly how it got to a conclusion. This is what unlocks a level of reasoning that some people are seriously calling PhD level.
Of course, an engine this powerful needs a completely new kind of workshop to operate in. And that's where Google's new development environment comes in. It's codenamed Antigravity.
And let's be crystal clear about this. This is not just another VS Code plugin. The entire philosophy here is different. Antigravity is designed from the ground up to be a control panel, a mission control where you, the developer, orchestrate and manage these autonomous AI agents.
Now, the really brilliant move here is that Antigravity is actually a fork of VS Code. What does that mean? It means millions of developers can jump right in with all their familiar key bindings and their favorite extensions. It feels like home. But underneath, it's been completely rebuilt to be cloud native, so the heavy lifting happens on Google servers, not your laptop. And of course, to natively handle that massive 1 million token context.
Okay, so how can you trust an AI agent to go in and rewrite your app? That's a fair question. This is where artifacts come into play. Before the agent touches a single line of your code, it generates a full plan. We're talking task lists, diagrams, a complete strategy for your approval. You are the project manager. You give the final go-ahead. It is a genius way to build trust.
So inside this new workshop, the whole way you work, it completely changes. This brings us to probably the most futuristic part of this whole thing, a new process that developers are calling Yap to App. It's all about coding with a vibe. So how does this even work? It's basically a 4-step loop. You start by just describing the vibe you want. You can use a sentence or even a quick sketch on a whiteboard. The AI then generates all the code. You immediately see the result right there in an integrated browser, and then you just talk to it to make changes. Hey, make that button blue, or add more fog to the background.
You just iterate with language. And this, right here, illustrates the power perfectly. You can take a totally abstract, aesthetic idea like a futuristic dark mode nebula, and the AI translates that feeling directly into production-ready code. Your job suddenly shifts from writing syntax to defining intent and vision.
Okay, so the ideas are incredible. I think we can all agree. But how does the tech actually perform? When the rubber meets the road. Let's put Gemini into the competitive arena and look at some of the hard data.
Let's start with a key benchmark called ScreenSpot Pro. This measures how well an AI can actually understand what's on a computer screen. And wow, the results are staggering. Gemini 3 Pro scores almost 73%, while GPT 5.1 is down at just 3.5%. This enormous lead in visual understanding, this right here, is the secret sauce that makes that whole vibe coding workflow possible.
And Miss Dominance, it just extends across the board, from pure academic reasoning to practical tests like competitive coding and even operating a command line. Gemini 3 Pro consistently leads the pack. I mean, the data's pretty darn clear.
But the true advantage, the real moat that Google is building here, it isn't just a better model. It's the tight, seamless integration of the entire stack. You have the state-of-the-art model, the AI-first IDE, and the raw power of the cloud all working together as one unified system.
So let's just pull this all together. What are the big things you need to remember? Number 1, AI is now an active partner, not just a tool. Number 2, that 1 million token context window, it changes everything. 3, Antigravity is your new command center. And finally, 4, your focus is going to shift from writing syntax to defining intent.
Which brings us to the final, really critical question this whole revolution forces us all to ask. As we move into this new era where the AI is a true collaborator, we have to wonder, what does the role of the human developer become? What do we do when our partner can do it all?